And Monica Robinson. Welcome to all of you who are watching, of course, right here on WFMY News 2, but also on Fire Stick, Roku, and the WFMY News 2 app for your TV, phone, or tablet.
I bet you did not know that you can watch WFMY on all of those platforms. You can even take us on the go or watch even when you're not near a TV with cable.
Very exciting. Well, thanks for joining us. However, you're watching at home. We're going to check in with Monique in a few, but we're going to jump right into our top story for today.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. It has been a week since the deadly shooting at Mount Tabor High School. This time last Wednesday, parents were anxiously waiting to be reunited with their kids as police hunted for a suspect.
Since then, we've seen the community step up to support the Spartans and the family of 15-year-old William Miller Jr. That's the student who was shot in the school shooting. Investigators say another student is in custody. Today, Winston-Salem Forsyth County School District leaders spoke about the next steps moving forward.
Yeah, they told WFMY News 2's Jenna Kurzina it is a step-by-step process.
The superintendent, the principal, and the student body president all shared how thankful they are for the outpouring of love and support shown by the community. While each day will bring its challenges moving forward, staff and students say they feel Mount Tabor will be stronger than ever.
I can assure you, one poor decision will not define 5+ decades of a fantastic high school.
1 week ago, Mount Tabor went on lockdown after police say someone shot and killed a student. That student was 15-year-old William Chavis Renard Miller Jr.
I also want to be very humble in asking you to please keep William Chavis Renard Miller Jr.'s family in your thoughts and prayers during this very difficult time for them and their family.
As for the rest of the school year, Superintendent Tricia McManus says moving forward, their #1 goal is student safety.
Students and families have to have a voice in what does security look like? What actually do they feel is important to their safety? And so those will be over the next couple of weeks decisions that we're talking through.
The principal says they are going to continue to work on building confidence with students, and in the coming weeks, conversations are going to be happening with the Board of Education about safety measures. In Winston-Salem, Jenna Kurzina, WFMY News 2.
Now, it's not clear which school safety changes are on the table. Last week, Superintendent Tricia McManus mentioned clear backpacks as an option.
There is not currently a backpack policy, so no. Not a clear, but that's a strategy, potential strategy as well.
Experts say there is something everyone can do to keep students safe. If you see something, say something. Reporting anything that looks strange or could be a threat is the most important thing to do. Officials say leave it to them to investigate. Don't spread it or repost it onto social media.
The next aspect of getting back to some sort of normal is resuming athletic events. Mount Tabor football will play Page High School tomorrow night at Page in Greensboro. It was originally scheduled for last Friday.
Alrighty then, if you're like me and you live in the Greensboro area, you may have woken up to very gloomy, ugly skies, rounds of thunder that was associated with a storm that moved its way through, and now in Virginia with abundant lightning. The latest rainfall totals are all due to some of these storms that are picking up well in our western counties, some of which have been producing some severe thunderstorm warnings, even one solid tornado warning just a couple of hours ago that was in Surrey County, now of which we just have one severe thunderstorm warning. But I'm going to take a wider view so you can see what we can expect over the next several hours. So we're seeing pop-up storms along the foothills, western counties, but we're also seeing cloud cover slowly but surely start to increase. Now, as we go through the next several hours, the next line of storms, as you can see, extending here through Kentucky, West Virginia, and even further northward, this line of storms is going to be moving towards the east. This boundary here, a cold front. That's what we're going to keep an eye on over the next several hours to see when exactly the triad should be weather aware for this line of storms. The good news is behind this line, we get cold air moving in. That's what a cold front does. It really ushers in, welcomes in cooler air and lower dew points, meaning those uncomfortable sticky conditions we've been feeling throughout the entirety of the summer are going to take a break for the next couple of days. So we get the temperatures to take a break as well as the humidity behind the front. But over the next 12 hours, it seems as though we need to be on alert for potential storms or at the least showers possibly making their way through the triad. So even going in through the next couple of hours, the rain chances start to lower. But as we continue through this evening and then the overnight hours and start to the early part of your Thursday, there is a greater likelihood that that line of storms could still slowly but surely start to make its way closer here to the triad. Not expecting for a widespread rainfall totals across the entire area. Definitely going to be an event where we see scattered showers and storms, but overall going to be a night where we may have to deal with some rounds of strong storms, meaning rumbles of thunder through the night. I'll have more details breaking it down and what exactly you can expect, whether you live in Alamance County or here in Guilford County, coming up.
Right now, Greensboro police are hunting for a murder suspect. They say Malik Moore is armed and extremely dangerous. He's wanted for 2 murders, one of them in the triad. Last Friday, officers found the body of a 21-year-old man on Patterson Street in Greensboro. He's also wanted for a murder in Charlotte, where police say he killed a woman who evacuated from Hurricane Ida.
Fans at North Carolina A&T games will need now to show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID-19 test. Fans can show their original or printed copy of a vaccine card or negative test results within 72 hours of the game. The new guidelines include all football and volleyball games at A&T. Fans younger than 12 who currently cannot get vaccinated will need to show proof of a negative test as well. A&T students are required to be vaccinated or undergo weekly testing. Well, the head of the World Health Organization wants to put a pause on booster shots, that is until vaccines are available in all countries. He urged the need for the first dose shot in many third world countries and said those should be prioritized over booster shots. Right now, U.S. pharmacies and health departments are offering a 3rd dose to immune-compromised people at this point. So what's black and white striped and on the run? That would be 3 missing zebras in Maryland. The animals got loose from a farm where they live, and some were quickly found, but 3 are still missing after a few days after they were last seen. Actually, Animal Control is asking everyone to keep an eye out for the zebras. And wildlife on the run, a little closer to home now. It wasn't an accident causing traffic issues in Forsyth County this morning, but a bull on the run. The animal was in the northbound lanes of Highway 52, just past Rural Hall. Firefighters joked, "Don't tell the chief we're out playing tag with a bull." They eventually got the bull on a trailer after about an hour. Officials called some nearby farms, but so far they have not figured out where the home is for that bull. That is not a good thing to do.
Wow, and an update here. So Animal Control, they haven't been able to find the home of the bull. So Animal Control now has the bull. Where do you put a bull? I mean, if you get a stray cat or a dog, we know where those go. But I mean, how do you house a bull?
You don't have a cage for the bull, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Good question. It was so cute and calm and everything like that. It didn't look like it was fighting back. It looked like they got it pretty easily there.
It was probably very scared.
Yeah, I'll bet it was.
Wondering what the heck is going on.
He was like backing up and stuff. I was like, I'm just surprised. I would have thought it would have been like more chaotic.
This is true. When I was a kid one time, and I lived in the middle of town in Mount Airy, but still, there was a bull running out from my neighbor's backyard, and I saw firefighters get out. They had ropes and everything trying to catch it. I ran inside and shut the door and looked out through the window, and that thing was running up the street. Literally, that happened.
That's wild.
Crazy.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. That was, I'm trying to come up with like a moo something. Chilton, you got something?
Joke.
Anything?
No.
Let's move on. We're going to go to break.
Nothing.
We'll be right back.
Grab a lawn chair or maybe even a blanket for a night of fun and entertainment at Triad Park in Forsyth County. The Martha Bassett Show will wrap up the county's free summer park concert series Sunday evening. Bassett is one of North Carolina's most acclaimed performing artists with 11 albums to date and countless performance credits. She will be joined by Grammy-winning artist Chance McCoy, as well as Beth McKee and Presley Barker.
So Martha Bassett is an entertainer, she's a musician, but she's also one that will cultivate other musicians and bring them together to really showcase a variety of backgrounds and talents.
This is the last of 5 concerts in the series hosted by the Forsyth County government and Arts Council of Winston-Salem in Forsyth County. Arts Council CEO Chase Law says the goal of the series is to revitalize the community after several events and businesses closed due to COVID-19.
So as we've worked really hard to reopen and revitalize our arts and cultural sector and our entire community, this is such a great way to do it because it's outside, it's in a big space. Triad Park is wonderful, and it's a great way to gather, be safe, and really enjoy some great entertainment.
Gates open at 4 and the concert begins at 5. Once again, it is free. All ages are welcome. And it's been a really cool series. They've had all types of music from salsa to country, just a little bit of everything for everybody.
And Triad Park is massive, so there's absolutely no way to have to worry about things there because that is a huge place.
I love going there too, any time of year. I mean, right, you can go there to see the leaves change, you can go there to play disc golf, you can go there to check out the Veterans Memorial area.
Yep.
Just a really cool spot.
And plus, if you haven't heard Martha Bassett, then you need to, that's a check mark. You got to do that. She's phenomenal.
They say it's a great show. It's a great show, and it is free. So we'll have all those details on our website.
What kind of outdoor places do you like, Chilton? I know that you haven't really been here for long enough to know the outdoor concert places.
You know, it's funny because with my band, we played so many of the little amphitheaters in smaller towns and bigger cities, and just all of the amphitheaters that have that nice wooden structure, that beautiful kind of natural wood look to them. I know Burlington has one of those. Asheboro, their Sunset series on Sunday evenings during the summer is phenomenal. So as long as you've got that overhang, I'm in good shape. It's just classy.
I love the White Oak Amphitheater.
Yes.
It's a good spot.
Okay,
So nice.
I'll have to check those out.
Add them to your list.
Add them to my long list.
We'll be right back.
Well, we had a busy day of weather across the triad to start, and in fact, the Storm Prediction Center did have the entire triad continuing for this evening under a marginal risk for severe weather. That is a level 1, but that's simply for the storms we're expecting this evening. The primary threat being damaging winds, but we have seen that some of these storms are capable of producing things far greater than that. Our radar, for the most part, is not really that busy, although we are seeing some storms. The strongest storm overall is well down to the south in Randolph County that does have quite a bit of lightning with it, and even when I looked onto some of those winds looking quite gusty around this storm. So as of now across the triad, this is the most potent storm, but overall going to be continuing to watch the radar over the next several hours as that cold front does continue to approach our area and increase the chance of rainfall. I know a lot of folks like to look at the futurecast to kind of pinpoint and see, okay, when exactly should we expect the storms? You're talking about later this evening. Will it be after dinner, before dinner, while I'm asleep? So let's take a look at the futurecast. This is showing some pop-up storms already starting around 6 p.m. in some of our counties towards the west, specifically already seeing it here in Forsyth County. As we continue through the evening, the storms continue again for Forsyth County, even Surrey and Stokes County. Now we get the real brunt of the line of storms pushing through around 9-10 p.m. with greater rainfall continuing through the evening. So you can see that line kind of is a slow moving line. Again, this is just one particular case, but showing promising signs at the least of getting to see rainfall and even hearing some rumbles of thunder through the night, and the cloud cover making way to start your Thursday morning. So at the least, you may see some drizzle activity, some light rainfall to start your day on Thursday, and not completely dry for the morning, but gradually improving as we get to the latter part of the day. I'll have more details with the 7-day as well as what we are watching in the tropics coming up.
Well, parents and guardians are tasked with a huge job, helping kids learn and grow. That is not an easy task. And as Coach Lamont explains in today's U-Day segment, it only gets harder when life's challenges get in the way.
You know, no one said that life was going to be easy. No one said that life would be a daily piece of cake. We experienced a very hard moment in our lives, my family and I, when my son was diagnosed with cancer. I remember when we got the call and just the fear that was on all of us because we did not know what was going to happen next. I remember as a father sitting there just saying to myself and praying, God, is there a way that I could personally take this pain away from him? I knew that was impossible, but at that moment of being vulnerable, I didn't know what else to do. As parents, we're faced with many challenges, and that was a challenge for us. Well, today my son is cancer-free. But one thing that I discovered is parents on a daily basis, it's our responsibility to pour life into our kids. We don't know when those moments will be taken away from us. But parents, this is something we must do.
Well, this weekend is the Central Carolina Fair at the Greensboro Coliseum Complex. Fair lovers, they really come from all over the state for this one. I spoke with promoter Daryl DeGranges about the fair and, of course, the food. Hey, Daryl, we appreciate you taking time out. I know you're a little bit busy right now with the fair coming along in 48 hours. Let's talk about how this may look different this go around. I know we've been all over the place with COVID over the last year or two. What are we going to see this year?
We did a little bit different with the layout. We've kind of spread stuff out, so we're not completely compact, tight to tight. So we're going to give all of our customers a little bit more elbow room on the midway. We've did a little bit different design. Right now, the main thing is the fact is that we're going to make it user-friendly and safe for everyone.
All right, so let's cut to the chase. Fair food. What will we expect this year? Because I think that's probably 90% of the reason that I go. So let's talk about that.
All the surveys say the first #1 reason people go to the fair is to eat. So the top 3 food items at the Central Carolina Fair is #1 is turkey legs, #2 is funnel cakes, and #3 is corn dogs. With COVID, some of the vendors are having an issue getting some of the product. So every week it's a struggle for the food vendors of getting what they need. So we're in the process of finalizing our final food list, which we'll have probably 60 different food items.
So you've been doing this a long time in the industry. What kind of trends do you see with fairs, the things that may be changing and what we'll experience in the future?
The biggest thing is, of course, is hand washing stations. We used to have only a couple in the restroom areas and like that. Now they're prevalent throughout the whole fairgrounds. Fairs that started basically in June was kind of the first fairs in America that really started to open up once they got the okay, and business has been booming. I mean, some fairs have been double.
Well, we appreciate you, and of course we'll see you out there. Good information, and you save a turkey leg for me, my friend. Or 2. So I asked you on Facebook to pick your top 3 fair food items. Bob Clinkingbeard said funnel cakes, and something fried and bad for me, which I think is more funnel cakes. Sheena says funnel cakes, cotton candy, and deep fried Oreos. We did talk about this yesterday, and those were probably our favorite 3 as well. Faith says funnel cakes, candy apples, and bratwurst. See, now you're talking. I like the savory, not the sweet. James says nothing. I don't eat fair food. Janet Atkins says funnel cake, caramel, apple, and popcorn.
See,
all right, friends.
I forgot about the popcorn because earlier this week I said I like the turkey leg, but I love popcorn, especially like gourmet kind.
I do too.
I love that.
I like that cheddar cheese stuff.
Cheddar
when
cheese
they put that
or
on there.
Oreo popcorn. They have all types of good stuff.
Chad?
I like all the deep fried stuff. So you could deep fry anything you want, and I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna try it once, and we'll see what happens. But all the good stuff. So like Oreos, you can do like cheesecake.
Can't they do
ridiculous
ice cream?
things.
Don't they do some sort of?
Yeah, I think you can
so.
fry like everything. But I had a deep fried Reese's cup before and a Three
awesome.
Musketeer, and it was delicious.
Can you imagine? I don't know. I'm afraid to ask, but what would the calorie count or carb count be?
I don't even want to know because I'd be so ashamed of myself. It's probably like through the roof.
I'll bet you it's more than one day's.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
Like a whole day.
Probably a whole month's worth of calories.
Right. But as long as you just do it once, that's okay, right?
Yeah. Just run it off tomorrow.
You're one deep fried Oreo from now till October 10th. That's it.
But maybe it's the big one, so like the double stuff, but like an entire sleeve of them, right? Does that count?
It's horrible. Horrible. All right,
we need help.
A short break and we'll be right back.
Mic check, Jalen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 27, 36, 44.
Hey, giving you a mic check. Ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie.
Classrooms.
Deep fried things.
Awesome.
Gushers.
Thank you for joining us on the 4 to 5. Eric Chilton here with Lauren Coleman and Chad Silber.
Hi, everybody. Remember, we are live on Facebook, so make sure you hop on and join us so you can chat with us throughout the show.
And did you know that we are not just on Facebook and
Yes.
TV? No, no, no. We also want to say hello to everyone watching on Fire Stick, Roku, and our News 2 app. A lot of places to watch.
A lot of places to watch, a lot to talk about today, especially today's big news. Today marks 1 week since the deadly shooting at Mount Tabor High School. It was the second day back for students who are back in classrooms after investigators say a student shot and killed 15-year-old William Miller Jr. Today we heard from school and student leaders. The student body president emphasized a message we've heard over and over the past week. They'll get through this together because they are Spartan strong.
I know Mount Tabor will be strong. Our administration team, their love doesn't waver. So I feel like going forward, we're just going to be a stronger community and continue to be Spartan strong.
The school's principal says moving on from this tragedy is a day-by-day process, and the support has been crucial.
During the course of the last several days, the support and the love and the care and the unwavering family support and attitude and can-do spirit has been very uplifting for our school and for our community. We've needed it. We're taking baby steps. We're doing the types of things that we need to be doing to take care of our kids and support them and work toward them, and baby steps as far as healing. We've trying to create a day-by-day routine and normalcy for our kids.
And one of the next big steps, continuing conversations about school safety. District leaders say they'll meet with parents, staff, and school board members in the next few weeks to talk about safety. Superintendent Tricia McManus previously mentioned a clear bag policy could be something they consider.
All right, well, we talked about quick, intense thunderstorms, and Monique, we had an interesting afternoon for a while there with the tornado warning. So what's happening as we head into the next little bit?
Yeah, the next several hours will feature some storms across portions of the Triad, but it seems as though right now, at least Guilford County is a little bit of a lull, but doesn't mean you don't need to be on alert. This is a look at some of our sky cam views across Greensboro, Forsyth County, Wake Forest getting a break in some of the clouds, giving way to a little bit more sunshine. Greensboro, kind of a bit of a break, but for the most part, thick clouds are really taking hold of our skies. The temperatures are kind of matching up to the locations that have seen rainfall, as well as the locations who have additional cloud cover. If you have a lot of clouds, you're not as warm. If you've seen rain, you're really not as warm. But if you haven't seen either of the two, you are baking right now this afternoon. Now, dew points also taking a nice little climb. What happens is just ahead of a cold front, a lot of times we see those temperatures really warm up, the moisture really builds in the air, and then after the front passes, we see a complete change. I mean, dew points just fall and it feels really nice out, especially during this time of year. We really can feel the difference. Sometimes these cold fronts move through in the summer. We don't really feel a difference, but this time of year and even going into the winter, they really make a difference. So we can see this front is going to slowly push through as we start our Thursday morning. And I know you see it. High pressure builds in behind, making for very comfy weather as we go into the end of the week. Now we will start to warm up, but for the most part, weather conditions feeling good heading out the door. I mean, take a look at these dew points. They will fall to the comfortable range your Friday. Now, as we continue to the start of the week, those dew points start to climb once again, but still staying in the 60s. We're not in the 70s, not feeling that tropical air that we generally feel during the summer. So again, these temperatures are taking a decline, but it is fall according to meteorologists, and we should be way cooler than what we're feeling. And again, I'll have that 7-day in just a bit.
So the Guilford County Sheriff's Office says that it needs to hire deputies and detention officers rather quickly. WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey learned they're hosting a hiring event tomorrow with plenty of openings to fill. Jalen.
Well, the Sheriff's Office says they want applicants to check 3 boxes: be at least 21 years old, have a high school diploma, and be a citizen of the United States. The Sheriff's Office says they have 75 open positions to fill. Tomorrow from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. they will be hosting a hiring event at the National Guard Armory here in Greensboro. And you don't need to bring much.
They just need to bring themselves. We will have supplemental forms there that they can fill out, but they do have to apply online at gcsonc.com, and that's where they will find the online Deputy Sheriff and Detention Service Officer application, because our application is 2-part. It's the online application, and then it's the supplemental forms that they need to complete and turn in.
Sergeant Buchanan says the coronavirus pandemic has played a major factor in lower enrollment over the last year and a half.
Recruitment has been challenging since COVID-19. There hasn't been many recruitment events and career fairs, and of course, most universities were online, so I wasn't able to go out and present to the criminal justice classes.
And it's not just the Guilford County Sheriff's Office with big staffing needs. The Forsyth County Sheriff's Office says they have 72 vacancies to fill as well. I've got a link to both those opportunities on my web story on WFMYnews2.com.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. Right now, Afghan refugees have set up new homes all over the world. Here is a group in Philadelphia. A local agency says you should expect the same here in the Triad. World Relief Triad says they're expecting refugees to come between now and March. They're preparing for up to 30 refugees in Winston-Salem. The agency says most refugees will go to Charlotte or Raleigh, but we can still accept some to settle here in our area as well. A major earthquake killed at least 1 person in Mexico last night. The 7.1 magnitude earthquake caused a utility pole to fall over and killed a man. It caused buildings to shake nearly 250 miles away from the epicenter. Fortunately, the Mexican president says no serious damage happened. The city opened shelters for families too scared to return home. The New York governor announced a multi-million-dollar plan for the city's 9/11 memorial, or 9/11 memorial, excuse me. Governor Kathy Hochul says lights at the memorial will shine all day on 9/11. The project involves more than 30,000 LED lights. The governor says the project will help bring light to a dark day for our country. Saturday marks 20 years since the 9/11 terrorist attacks. An Illinois zoo started vaccinating its animals against COVID-19 this week. Vets at the Brooksville Zoo gave out the first shots yesterday. Animals at higher risk for getting sick are first in line. The North Carolina Zoo started vaccinating animals in July. They started with the primates. Other zoos around the country also gave their animals the vaccine as well.
We are seeing a big number in one of our state's coronavirus metrics today. It's the percentage of tests coming back positive. All the way there in the end, 15.8%. It's a huge number that we haven't seen in a long time. The last time we saw a percentage this big was back on January 4th. Even then, it was rare. We've only seen 3 days throughout the entire pandemic that were higher than today's. Keep in mind, the state's goal is 5%, this red line. We haven't been anywhere near that line in several weeks. Our latest number is nearly triple that goal. Meantime, health experts continue to say vaccines are the way out of this pandemic. Some businesses and events now require you get a shot. Some have wondered whether vaccine cards and the information on them are protected by HIPAA laws. Our Verify team found out.
When it comes to COVID-19 vaccines, there's a lot of misinformation out there, and that's why the Verify team focuses on the facts. You may have seen a tweet like this on social media that says that a vaccine card is a HIPAA-protected document. So let's verify. Is a vaccine card all by itself a HIPAA-protected document? Our sources are the Department of Health and Human Services and Kate Spector-Baghdadi, who's a lawyer and bioethicist who is also the Associate Director at the University of Michigan's Center for Bioethics and Social Sciences in Medicine. Let's start with HHS. Back in 1996, it set national standards and privacy rules that protected your sensitive health information through the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, or HIPAA. According to HHS, HIPAA rules only apply to covered entities like doctors, hospitals, and insurance plans. Basically, it's that they can't share your personal health information without your permission. Kate Spector-Baghdadi says that HIPAA does not protect your medical information from anyone at any time, and your vaccination card is not a HIPAA-protected document. She says medical information is only HIPAA protected if a healthcare provider, health plan, or associate is holding it. For example, if your doctor has your vaccination information, he or she cannot share it with other people without your permission. But this does not prevent other places like restaurants or stores from asking you for it or from telling you that you can't come in without showing it. So we can verify that no, your vaccine card on its own is not a HIPAA protected document. With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozlov.
Oh, when you're stressed, the weight of the world is kind of just overwhelming. All these things are going on, right? When you've just had enough, here's my question. What do you do? What is your stress relief? So friends, I'm going to ask you. We all find comfort differently. All right, so we're going to ask each and every one of you, how do you feel like you're going to undo the stress?
Okay. For me, I got to get out of the house. I don't like sitting still, so I usually go for a walk, blast some music, but I got to get outside.
Okay, Chad, what you got?
I'm kind of that way too. I love beach therapy.
Beach therapy, that's good.
Yeah. Just like laying on the beach, just listening to the waves. I love that.
This is good. Chill Tony?
Well, if we're going that far, then I am going to the beach. I thought we were staying close to home. Yeah, at home, so it's out back with a speaker and a beverage of some sort and listen to the chill music, sometimes Sinatra and that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. All right, so there's all kinds of therapy out there, right? We've all mentioned some of our favorites. Some are funny, some are serious, like retail therapy, right? That comes to mind. There's also therapy with dogs. That just happened at Mount Tabor High School when the kids were coming back. There's friend therapy, right? That's just getting out and laughing with your friends and having a good time. But check this out. Maybe Chad and Eric, this is for you. It's wave therapy, as in surfing. A therapist and surfer started these getaways for healthcare workers. The idea, wash away the pandemic stress.
It's almost like 6 to 8 months of therapy in about 2 or 3 hours. We're constantly projecting to the future what may or may not happen, and that's where anxiety lives.
And when you're paddling through a wave, there's no
time for that.
You
are right here and you are right now.
All right, so what do you think about washing away stress with surfing? Is that quite what you meant when you said, I want to go to the beach?
So, no, because for some reason I'm kind of nervous about what's in the ocean.
Yeah.
I'm cool with getting in the water up to my neck, but not any further than that.
Okay.
I agree with that.
That kind of stresses me out a bit.
I won't even do that. I'll get up to about my waist, and that's about it.
That's it, all right.
Sitting on the beach and listening to music, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I like to watch people surf and do other things, but I'm not really into the water sports. I will soak my feet a little bit, soak my toe, but that's not really for me.
Gotcha. Okay, we're going to stick with other things that are maybe not as dangerous, right?
But I can see how that could be therapeutic.
So I've taken a surfing lesson before, and I will say I was scared that I was going to get eaten by a shark before I took the surfing lesson. And as I was in the surfing lesson, I was just so amazed by everything that was going on and being able to get up on the board that I didn't even worry about the sharks anymore.
Okay.
So maybe it works.
All right, Tanya.
All right, so we briefly touched on therapy dogs, right? Which leads me right in today's expert Q&A. It's Ask the Vet Day. So get your text questions ready. Send them to 336-379-5775. Our expert dispels all kinds of myths when it comes to pet care. Join us from 5:30 to 5:45 for Ask the Vet.
Hello, 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 hello. Talking some football. Can you believe it? What a day, people. Well, it's not here yet, but it's almost here. It's like right around the corner. Tomorrow is the first game of the 2021 NFL season. Yeah, I can hear. Just walking to touch. Putting my coat on. Happy hump.
We are counting down the days to the kickoff to the Panthers' regular season. Carolina hosts the Jets Sunday afternoon here on WFMY. Meantime, WFMY News 2's Luke Liddon has an update on game prep.
Hey, Chad, it's crazy to think the NFL season has just about arrived. A chance to see how the Panthers' new roster will perform when the games actually count. And Coach Rule seems confident in the group they have for the upcoming 2021 season. How could you not? With CMC on your side. A big plus is all the team starters are healthy and ready for kickoff this Sunday. That includes Christian McCaffrey, new quarterback Sam Darnold, plus many of the rookies. Now, it all looks great on paper, and Coach knows he'll have a better assessment of this year's team starting this weekend.
We're just going to get ready for this game. Like all of our positions, how we've looked or what we've done really doesn't matter for where we are this week. I've been pleased with the guys' work. Excited to get the full contingent out there, excited to get McCaffrey out there, along with Sam, DJ, Robbie, Ian, and the guys. So, it's been preseason, gotten good work done, but the real test will be this Sunday.
As we get closer to game day, I'm sure I start having, different feelings, different emotions, but, right now I'm just, trying to focus on the Jets.
Did you see that one-handed grab by Robbie Anderson? Can't wait to see that in the regular season. Kickoff coming this Sunday, just 3 days away at 1 p.m. down inside Bank of America Stadium. Best part of all, like we mentioned, you can catch the game right here on WFMY News 2, your official home of the Carolina Panthers.
I'm pumped. I am just so excited. Obviously, I love the Panthers, but I'm just excited for football in general. I love a football Sunday, the day after a college football Saturday. It's just a weekend packed with games.
I feel like the anticipation has just been building and building and building to this moment. Are y'all doing anything special to celebrate?
Not really, just watching it. Yeah, I just want to see. This is the nervous part for me. So I like the beginning of the season when you're trying to see how they're going to do, and I get into what they're doing with play calling. And so for the first couple games, I'd rather not watch with a big group so that I can focus on that. Then later, I'm all right. They're saying, okay, we're not any good and we can have fun, or we're really good and we're all going to have fun watching them.
Yeah.
Take it too seriously is basically what I'm saying.
See, for me, I kind of get nervous also because I just had my fantasy football drafts on Monday. So I'm in 2 leagues, and now I'm worried, not just because of the games, the teams that I like to root for, but also for the players that I picked, and I just want to do well, and I want to win because I've never won before.
Who's your best quarterback?
I don't even have a really Matthew Stafford is good in one of my leagues. The other one is Jalen Hurts, not that great.
Yeah.
But I got Christian McCaffrey in one of my leagues, so I was the first overall pick. So let's see what he can do.
Right. Fingers crossed, Chad. You got this.
Fingers crossed.
I need to do one and just let Lauren pick it because she doesn't really care. And
I don't.
Then
you can probably tell.
Then I'll win the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it works. Yeah.
Just make sure I get a cut.
Yeah, I will. Don't worry. Don't worry. All right, we're coming right back with some news about Blues Clues, believe it or not. Well, it's been 25 years since the show Blues Clues first hit the air on Nickelodeon, but today it's all anybody's talking about online.
Yeah, the show's original host, Steve, had a message for everyone.
In a video updated, he talked about time spent in college after leaving the show and overcoming the obstacles life has thrown his way. Take a listen.
I mean, we started out with clues, and now it's what? Student loans, and jobs, and families, and some of it has been kind of hard. You know? I know you know. And I wanted to tell you that I really couldn't have done all of that without your help. I guess I just wanted to say that after all these years, I never forgot you. Ever. And I'm super glad we're still friends.
Oh
my God.
And we never forgot you, Steve. I loved Blues Clues. That was like my generation, so.
You know, I watch it because my kids watched it, and so I watched it as a result. And I used to look and see what, because he left the show at one point, and Joe came in, and so I did a little research. He's a musician, and that's his first love, is playing in bands. So if you do a little research and look on YouTube, it's a whole different Steve than you thought.
That's crazy. I was concerned you were going to cry.
I mean, I was getting kind of emotional watching that because I always wonder, like, what happened to Steve?
Your childhood.
My childhood.
Wow, I never watched that show.
Really?
I think maybe I was probably just a little bit too old at the time it came out. But I definitely respect it. I mean, that show was around for a while.
Long time. I kind of stopped watching when Steve left and his cousin Joe came into the picture and took over.
And that guy, the guy that plays Joe, see, I'm full of useless trivia. If you ever need somebody at a party just to spout out useless trivia, the Joe guy does animated voices for other cartoons now.
Okay, name one of those cartoons.
Oh, it's the robot thing. I can't think of it right now. He's a robot in that one.
Monique,
save us.
Well, the 7-day, I have yet to show it, but I do have it here before we end this 4 p.m. hour. We're going to be on this roller coaster of temperatures, slowly but surely increasing, but we'll definitely all feel the relief Thursday and even Friday. Before I do end the newscast, I do want to talk about the tropics, where we've all been talking about Larry, but now we do have what could be Tropical Depression 13 very soon. This area of low pressure down near the Panhandle is expected to move to the north and east. Now, not expected to strengthen much thereafter, but will bring some very heavy rainfall to the southeast. Larry still looking impressive, but not expected to make direct impacts to the U.S. coast. And more details on weather here at home coming up at 5 with Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley.
Looked flawless-ish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
We just figured out Blue's Clues. We just figured out Blue's Clues. We just figured out Blue's Clues. All right.
Hi there, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah.
I have a we. I am going to take, I've got 7 and 8, correct, friends? One is prod, one is, yeah. Yup, okie dokie smokies.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5. E looking at 2, Tasha. E looking at 2.
So it's time for my 2 cents, and this is one I've been dreading. If you've been around and watching these for the last few weeks, you know that about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I took my first oldest, Bryce, one of the identical twin boys, to college. That was rough. Watching the twins say goodbye to each other was actually the hardest part of it. But now the day has come that I've dreaded just as much, if not more, which is now the other twin goes to school. His school starts a little bit later. So by the time you watch this, we'll be driving out of state. They both went to 2 different states for college. It's the first time they've been separated for that long, ever. But now I'm thinking 50% of my kids, right? I have 4 kids. 2 of them now will be gone to college. And it is hard. Parents, for those of you that have been through this, you know how hard it is. Those of you that haven't yet, I'm telling you it's as hard as people tell you it will be. And for me, making that drive and spending that time with him for a day or 2 before I come back is key. But that last time when you have to leave is extremely difficult. These pictures I wanted to show you of Alex through the years. I can't say enough about this kid. He has gone through a transformation like nobody I've ever seen, and he has grown into a wonderful, wonderful young man. I can't say enough about his character, about his honesty, about his work ethic, and really just becoming a loving member of the family. Don't know many 19-year-old boys that still want to hug their dad and mom, but both of my twins are like that. Alex, I could not be more proud of who you are as much as I am of what you're going to be doing. He went to the college he wanted to go to, and now he's going to embark on his career, and I can't wait to watch every single step. I love you, Alex. I will miss you every day. And that's just my 2 cents. And that's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
One week ago today, tragedy hit the Triad. A Mount Tabor High School student was shot and killed. Today, students wrapped up their 2nd day of classes since that deadly shooting.
The Winston-Salem Forsyth County Superintendent, the Mount Tabor High Principal, and student body president spoke this morning about being back. WFMY News 2's Jenna Kurzina has more on how they are addressing safety at the school.